Good morning, everybody. It's really bright and early where Deb is this morning, and this is actually the last Wednesday of the month. It's exciting. We have almost finished February. I'm not going to say we finished February, we almost finished, right? But this is the last time you'll see us live in February. After that, you're going to drop a hashtag replay to let us know that you watched it and that you
Mhm.
enjoyed this episode. And we're wrapping up this month with technology that supports entrepreneurs. And we're wrapping it up with something that you may not think of as technology because it's been around for like, I don't know how many years, but advertising. And we're talking advertising, digital advertising,
Yeah.
because most people right now, their business is online and they're going to need some sort of technological support in the area of advertising. All right. So, again, I'm Hillary, the marketing mom, and we've got Deb with us. All right. And we are going to be diving in. And the first question we want to ask, obviously, is why advertise in the first place?
Yeah.
Why should a business advertise? And the funny thing is, there's some businesses out there who, and even in certain groups, I've heard people talk about, oh, I could advertise for free on Facebook. And I'm like, you're using the wrong tool. Okay. You're
Yeah.
using the wrong, it's like you can't advertise for free anywhere. All right.
Exactly. Exactly. But advertising, what it does is it reaches a broader audience for you, gets it out there further than what an organic or free advertising would do for you. So, and like Hillary says, nobody gets advertising for free. Excuse me. Just think of Pepsi and Coke and the cars. Oh my goodness. It's too early for my voice to talk here. So sorry about that. So we're going to delve into this, and I have to tell you honestly, advertising is not my most favorite thing to do with digital marketing. So take it away, Hillary.
So as Deb was saying, yes, we advertise to increase our reach. And when we talk about advertising, before we even talk about why advertise, but it's like where can you advertise today? And in today's world, it's like sometimes when I think about business advertising, it has evolved and it has actually been to a business owner's benefit today. Because before, it's like recently, I wouldn't say recently, but this was before COVID, um lockdowns and all of that stuff. I had called the newspaper, and actually a friend of mine that works in the newspapers, and I just wanted to get an ad in there for my dad's business, right? And it's a local business, and I was saying, okay, let's put it in the local papers, right? um and I was mortified at the cost of
Yeah.
of an ad that's actually going to reach people. It's like, yeah, you got your classifieds where you just see the little print, and it's like you need a magnifying glass to see it. So that's like pointless, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you've got these ads that are kind of similar to what you're used to seeing on social media, on Google, on, where there's a little more, like an image and stuff like that. And I was mortified at the cost. And not mortified at the cost just because the cost was high, but mortified because even with that cost, I know for a fact I'm not even going to reach 1/10 of the audience that I want to reach. All right. So the thing about advertising and how it's evolved and how it works for your business is that the technology part you do have to get used to. You do have to learn, and the technology part is actually doing digital advertising so that you can reach more people. But not only that, you could reach people who actually want to see your offer. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a big thing about like advertising on radio, advertising on the television, advertising in newspapers and magazines. And one of the things that a lot of people have struggled with is basically, am I reaching the people? Well, when you go digital, you actually have a better idea of whether you're reaching them or not. You have a better idea of actually being able to, and I'm not going to use the word. I said I wasn't going to use the word, but I'm like, target because like we don't have bullseyes on our backs, but sometimes
No.
that's what it really feels like when we're out there. Right? It's like, oh, you're a mom and you probably want to buy Pampers, so we're going to show you all the baby ads, right? Have you
Right.
like I remember it was like, we do ourselves that disservice. But that is what digital does, right? So from a business owner standpoint, understanding this technology and understanding how it works for your business is going to just benefit, your business, and you being able to put your business out there, grow your business, right? um and as I said, reaching the actual people who care about your offer. It's like the people who advertise Pampers in the newspapers, how many mothers actually have time to read the newspapers?
Right, right. But like you say, we can yes, target. There's got to be a nicer word than
Word.
that. But the people that we want to reach with our product, not everybody wants our product, but that's the nice thing about digital marketing, or advertising, I should say, is we can guide it to pinpoint the group that really would want
Yeah.
our product, whatever that product is.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and it's kind of yeah, you pinpoint them. Yes, I think that was a nicer word to use. Now, I liked in the title, I think we said something about R&D. All right, and when it comes to any business, you've got, like, I remember, can't remember when it was. This is back in the days of college, and they were talking about different businesses and stuff, and they always had in their budget this like 10% for R&D. All right, or like 20% for research and development. So those who don't know, R&D, research and development. Right now, advertising digitally is kind of like that. You got to have your budget for research and development, because you're
Yeah,
not going to hit it out to the park. And because of the technology, you are actually able to test and tweak and do all of these different things, which is great. When you run an ad in the papers, um, it's a print ad with some text and you put it in the papers. And the most you could probably test is, did I run it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or did I run it Monday through Thursday? Other than that, you really don't know, because you don't know who bought the newspapers. You don't know,
yeah,
you know nothing. You don't know if they bought the newspapers at the golf course versus if they bought the newspapers at church. So you have no clue who.
yeah,
So from a testing standpoint, advertising in that realm is very much like just throwing stuff onto the wall and see what sticks. But when you do digital advertising, you're able to do the research and development, to do the testing, and then we do what people call scaling, right? And it's just like, oh, what's scaling? What's scaling? Well, I like to think of scaling as just pouring gasoline on something that works.
oh, it's not like scaling a fish.
No, no, no. Yeah, because again, in the digital space, people use all of these lovely terminologies that we just don't seem to get. And it's like scaling is just duplicating, making it bigger, expanding it, right? So, or throwing gasoline on something that works. But you first have to know what works, right? And that's where the testing comes in. And the only reason you could test is because there's technology behind it to be able to test, right? So I know, because this month was all about technology, and a lot of people are saying, but advertising isn't technology. In today's world, it is.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. As you're scrolling on Facebook, how many ads pop up? And
Oh,
all of a sudden, how many ads pop up that, oh, I like that. Facebook is so smart in how it targets. And I'm going to use that word with Facebook because
mhm,
they literally target us and they're helping the advertiser find the people.
people.
But it's like, yeah.
And
But you scroll and Facebook, that algorithm
it,
is a pretty smart thing. Is so
Yes, it is. It is. It is. So definitely, I just changing. Sorry, I was just sharing our post. Right. So when we talk about building and testing, that is, I mean, building. It's like you're testing, you're doing your R&D, you're figuring out, okay, do people like this image? Do people not like this image? And in today's world where social media has a very not so pleasant rep, people are looking for different places, all right? And you could still do the same type of things that you would do on Facebook, but we're getting to the point where we're kind of tired of the fact that I posted, for example, like I always go back to the mother example, because it was kind of eerie for me. You would post a picture of your baby, and then all of a sudden you're getting targeted with baby ads. Or you post a picture of your car, you were broken down, right? Your car, you broke down on the side of the road, and then all of a sudden you're getting targeted for new tires or car window replacement or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah,
And it's kind of creepy. It's getting to
it is actually. Yeah,
so when we talk, like, and the reality is we're a part of that sort of ecosystem, where there are different players inside of this ecosystem. We are we're the ones that provide the content for the advertisers to now decide, okay, what are we gonna share them? Because we need things, right? It's not that we don't need things. It's like if I broke my window screen and I share that on social media, I need a new one. Literally, I
hmm,
do. So the smart advertiser is going to get in front of me as quickly as possible, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, I can go there to get it." Right?
right, right.
That, I mean, it's just being smart, because we do as human beings need things, right? So, but some of the other places, like, because we're talking Facebook, we're on Facebook doing Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, over on YouTube, but you can advertise and learn the different technologies of Google, of Facebook, of YouTube, Pinterest. All right, we're gonna have a top five Pinterest expert coming on within a couple of weeks to talk to
Yeah,
us. All right, to talk to us about a lot of different types of marketing, but we're not going to spill the beans too much, because we got a lineup for you for March. Okay,
yeah,
we got a powerful lineup for you for March. But anyway, so the different places that we were talking about, you got Google. We know almighty Google. Google Ads, Google this, and then there's the networks. All right, so like Google Network, and we know Facebook is developing their network and their tentacles. And I like to say, anywhere where there's a URL, you could possibly advertise, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
when you think
yeah.
about it, it's become a very huge global playground. Twitter as well, I forgot to mention Twitter and LinkedIn. A lot of people don't do too much advertising, but yeah, Twitter and LinkedIn as well. You can do advertising over there. All the Facebook properties, yes, WhatsApp is one of the Facebook properties that will start
Hmm.
advertising. Yep,
Yep.
just saying it there. Good.
And
And I,
just think about how Facebook has grown, how Google has grown
it's through
since
advertising.
technology, yeah, really picked up, and it is through advertising. Yes.
Right? So we have to, as a business owner, figure out where you play and where you need to understand that technology and understand what you need to learn, and then what you need to be able to eventually, because not all business owners can handle advertising on their own, depending on the size of your business. All right. And especially when your business gets to the point where we're pouring the gasoline on. All right. When we're pouring the gasoline on, or scaling, that's when you really need, a little more assistance, help in terms of managing everything about the technology, I would say, so
Yeah.
it's
And
it's
that takes time.
yeah, it does take time. And the thing is, it's just like, when you're doing your testing, you've got to, when you're in that testing mode, yes, it's like, think of it as, if you think of it as the research and development phase.
Yeah.
Think of John Hopkins, how much money they spend on research and development. Think of all the different hospitals, cancer associations, and everything. And then look at your business and say, is my business worth getting, I mean, reaching its highest potential? You do it
Right.
through research and development. And that's the testing. And in advertising, there's a lot of testing that you need to do in order to reach your highest potential. And then you could hand it off to be scaled, right?
Right, right. And as I was learning technology, I was learning how to do ads, and I got to the point where I hated the word test. It's like, really, I just want to get it out there and get something going. But it's so true. We've got to test to
You have
see
to
what's
test.
going on. Like Hillary named off a lot of things that do research and development. It's got to be done if you want to pull the proper people, the people that want what you have and need what you have. So you just got to suck it up and do it.
Yeah, I like, but that was beautiful, Boo. Just suck it up. Okay, just suck it up this time.
Yeah.
All right. So we and the thing with all technology, even this month, as we went through the different aspects, we were talking about the website. I mean, if I had a screenshot to share of what my very first website looked like, y'all would probably be like, "That's not a website." But that's what technology is. And technology, you learn it as you go, as you grow, and you're going to make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, and but mistakes help you grow. All right. So
Exactly.
from websites all the way to the email autoresponders, to all of these different technology that you're going to need and utilize inside of your business, your entrepreneurial journey. We haven't covered everything during this month, but definitely we touched on some of the key points that Deb and we ourselves have learned, still learning and still
Yeah.
growing in it, right? Because it's a integral part of our business, the websites, the autoresponders, the lead generation tools, and then the advertising as well. Okay, so definitely a lot of insight during this month. If you've missed any, you could always go back, just check February 2021 hashtag replay. Okay. And we are looking forward to a very powerful packed March, where we're going to have some special guests on each week to
Yeah.
give us a little behind the scenes about what they're training on. All right. In a very special event. So we will see you next week. Thank you for those who joined us live, and for those watching the replay, don't forget to drop a hashtag replay. Okay.
Right. Right. And
Okay.
Hillary, I so enjoy, because as we talk and teach, I don't know about you, but it just reinforces my knowledge and of what I really do know. And so don't be afraid. Oh, that's all I can say is don't be afraid. Just do it. You're going to make mistakes. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we pivot, whatever is needed. So hopefully, and I can't say hopefully because I think we gave you some really good insights, and hopefully not to be afraid of
Not to be afraid.
technology.
Yes, that is one thing that, a lot of the times I sit down, and Deb, I know we've talked behind the scenes, and we've talked, and one of the things that I think both of us look at is where we are now. Sometimes there are things that we're doing so quickly, and we're doing them so efficiently, but we forget that 5, 10, 15 years ago, we weren't doing that at all. And
Right.
it's because we learned, right? And when it comes to your technology journey as an entrepreneur, there are little things, right? There are little things that you don't know. And then somebody comes and shares it with you. I mean, I could count the number of times, like this week, like last week, I learned how to wrap text inside of a Google sheet by a shortcut. I didn't know how to do that.
And
I
don't ask
always
me
go,
what she just said.
right? I'm always going to file and looking for the thing, and where is it? Which one is it on? And this week I learned the shortcuts on the spreadsheet, and I was just like, dude, amazing, right? Okay. But
Yeah.
I could build a website, right? But I could build a website, but I didn't know how to wrap text in an Excel spreadsheet.
Exactly. And that's what's kind of somewhat tripping me up are the little simple things. It's like, are you kidding me? I could do this, but I didn't even see how to do that. So, yeah,
And
we
that
all are
happens
still
with
learning because technology is constantly changing. So,
changing. Exactly. So your journey is never over. Don't be afraid of technology and go and see what pieces of technology you're missing in your business. All right. So that you could start implementing it and getting it up and running. Okay.
yeah,
Have
yeah.
a good week, everybody.
Yeah, see you next week.
See you next week. Bye, all.